to the Who Are You to Lead Anyway podcast. How are you doing today? I just want to, before we begin, I want to apologize for any sound quality or any road noise because I am in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and I am just walking back in the beautiful light rain from a conference reception. I'm here for a conference for the next couple of days and was just meeting up with some old colleagues, and it was so wonderful to see them. And I thought about what I wanted to talk to you about, which is something that I think we all think about, but might not always allow ourselves to fully embrace, which is the power of dreaming bigger. So what if the limits we perceive aren't real? What if we allowed ourselves to step beyond those limits that we have? Now, I think the first thing I want to talk about is just the weight of overthinking, because we've all been there. The loop of overthinking, replaying scenarios, imagining worst case outcomes. It's like being stuck in a fog where clarity seems just out of reach. And that fog keeps us in a state of frustration, feeling trapped by our current situation, and it convinces us that it's safer to stay small. That's just the brain's job, right? It's just trying to keep us safe. And so how do we break free from that? How do we clear the fog? I think it starts with noticing the thoughts that are keeping us small in a confined space. And often these thoughts still tell us that dreaming bigger is too risky, it's too far-fetched. But those are the very barriers that we need to challenge. So let's talk about rewriting your story. Now imagine if you could rewrite that story. What if instead of letting the fog of self-doubt cloud your vision, you allowed your mind to dream bigger, to entertain possibilities that you never even considered before? It's fascinating. Because I was meeting with my former colleagues, we didn't work together in that way, but we certainly did from a volunteer perspective. And it just had me thinking about all of the dreams and possibilities that I had held for myself, and all of the possibilities that I brought into reality and created for myself. Some of the big transitions that I've made within my life, and how if I hadn't had that version of me thinking those things, how it might not have even happened. Now, there's an old saying, and I can't remember who says it, but it's something along the lines of, if you can dream it, you can do it. But dreaming itself takes courage, because dreaming means you have to let yourself imagine something better, something bigger, even if it feels far off. It's the first step toward achieving it. And so I want you to ask yourself, what have you been holding back from because it seems too much? What would happen if you allowed yourself to want more? And we could get into a whole different episode about what does more even mean, how much more is there, etc. But even just to think about that. So let's shift to moving from fear to possibility, because dreaming bigger doesn't mean you have to throw caution to the wind and leap without a net at all. It does mean giving yourself permission to explore possibilities without letting fear drive the car. Because fear has this way of keeping us grounded in what we already know, because that's all the brain is capable of. But possibility, now that's where the magic happens. It's about cultivating this openness to what could be instead of obsessing over what it is. It's a shift from survival to creation. So let's talk about the inner work that we need. Because the truth is, you're already more visionary than you give yourself credit for. I mean, just think about it. Every step you've taken, every dream you've had, that's brought you to this point, right? Like, you've taken all of those steps. And yet, when we get stuck in overthinking or doubt, we forget that we've already overcome so many obstacles just to get here. I mean, there's a version of you that exists today that it was only a dream before. So what would it look like to trust that visionary part of yourself more fully? Start by asking yourself, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would I create? What would I dare to dream for myself, my life, and my leadership? And then from that place, That's where you talk about taking action from a different mindset, from a new mindset. And once you've allowed yourself to dream bigger, the next step is moving. But not just any action, it's action that feels aligned with this bigger vision. It's no longer about pushing or forcing, but responding to opportunities with a sense of openness and curiosity instead. And when you shift into this mindset, your choices start to come from a place of excitement rather than fear. You begin to trust that there's a path forward, even if it's not fully clear yet. So, dreaming bigger is about shifting our relationship with what's possible. It's about stepping out of survival into creation, trusting your inner journey, and taking actions that align with your bigger dreams. So today, I want to encourage you to ask yourself, what is one dream that you have kept hidden because it's felt too big? And how can you start nurturing that dream, even in small ways? Remember, the only limits are the ones we set for ourselves. So I realize this was a short episode, and I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode inspired you, I would love to hear from you. Share your thoughts with me. Reach out to me, social media, send me a direct message. And as always, keep dreaming bigger. And until next time on the Who Are You to Lead Anyway podcast, I invite you to take care and keep leading with heart and vision. You got this, and I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Goodbye.
Hey, leader. Thanks for tuning in to the Who Are You to Lead Anyway podcast. I hope today's episode inspired you to embrace your authentic leadership journey. I want to invite you to join my mailing list at www.cynthiajamesoncoach.ca and claim your copy of Your Inner Compass, a guide to charting your course to authenticity. This guide will help you understand what truly matters most to you. My vision is to empower individuals to live and lead lives in harmony with their core values, become catalysts for positive change, and navigate transitions, all while fostering connection and belonging in the world. Lastly, your feedback shapes this show, so I would be honored if you would subscribe, rate, and review. Thank you so much for being a part of this community dedicated to authentic leadership. Together, let's make a meaningful difference in this world.